telling Davidito stories about life on the ranch in Texas.
There are the three rattlesnake stories. The first rattlesnake story, the Daddy and Uncle Ho went out to the pump house. And we were going to start the pump. So we get the water. We get out on the ranch, on the farm where you have to pump your water. And what did Uncle Ho do? He opened the door to the pump house, and what did he see? Big rattlesnake all coiled up right inside the door, with his head up like that, ready to bite. And he was rattling his rattle going like that. That's the way it does. And with his mouth, he sticks out his fork and like that. And, quick, close the door before the rattlesnake could jump and bite him. I said, run and get Daddy's rifle, quick. And I'll keep the door shut. And I'm going to get up on the roof of the pump house. And we'll keep the door shut till you get back with the rifle. And he went back, got the rifle, and he got back. And I said, okay, now, you carefully open the door. And I'm going to be up on the roof, but you stay behind the door so the rattlesnake can't hit you. But open it, and I'm going to look down from the roof where he doesn't expect me to be. See, the rattlesnake couldn't see over his head. He didn't know I was up there. See? I took my rifle and opened the door slowly. And I pointed right at his head, and I went, "Ah!" Boom! I hit him right in the eye. Right to the head. Kill him first shot. Boom! That was the first rattlesnake story. And another rattlesnake story was the one about your Uncle Aaron and him running and not looking where he was running. And not looking where he was jumping. And not looking before he leaped. And he was running after the cows one day, and he jumped across this ditch, and he landed right on top of a rattlesnake. And it bit him right on his boot. But it didn't kill him because it was his boot and not his leg. Thank the Lord. So we were real thankful. And after that, Aaron was more careful where he jumped. He looked before he leaped. The moral of that story is to look before you leap. And the moral of the pump house story is to look before you enter. If you open the door, you better see what's inside before you go in, huh? There's a big rattlesnake there. And the last rattlesnake story was when Mommy and Daddy were taking a walk one night in the dark on this pretty moonlit night. It was pretty light enough to see where we were walking, where we were going, but not light enough to see good enough. We should have had a flashlight with us. We should have used it more. We carried a flashlight, but we didn't use it much. When we were coming back home, and all of a sudden, the third rattlesnake story, all of a sudden, we heard a sound. It was wiggling his tail. It was really warning you. Don't come close. He was saying, don't come near me. Don't come close to me or I'll bite you. That's what he did. I stopped Mommy real quick like that. I said, Mommy, stop. I hear something. She said, what is it? I said, don't move. Don't move because it'll strike you. Something moving. Stand really still. Because you could strike. It's something moving. If you move, boom, he has to bite you. And I didn't know exactly where he was because it was dark. I didn't know how close he was, how far away he was. So I did my best not to slow like that. And I shone it right in the light. And it was so bright and blinding he couldn't see. So he just sat there. He sat there just Hold still. And back off slowly. Back off real slowly. To the left. Like you get the light right in his face so he couldn't see. See, all he could see was the flashlight. And he backed off real slowly, and then I yelled real loud in voice, "Hey! Abner!" You know, the one that died in the motorcycle accident? From the ranch, he died there in the last day. He was driving too fast on his motorcycle. And he hit a bump, and threw him and the motorcycle up in the air. And he came down and landed on his head on a rock. He got very sick in the hospital, at the hospital for a whole week. And then he died. Went to be with you so he could help take care of us. He was taking care of us. But anyway, that's another story. But Abner and the motorcycle. So Abner was our guard, one of our guards carried gun. "Hey, Abner! Bring the pistol, quick! Bring a gun, quick!" Well, I really meant a rifle, but instead he brought me this automatic pistol. Big automatic pistol. I took it and I right and right. Pull the trigger like that. Yeah. You can't shoot very good. You got to be real close up. And a rattlesnake's head is only about so big. Hard to hit. So he started crawling away. And I ran after him. Blam! 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 And I hit him a few times and missed him a few times. Unless you hit him in the head, it doesn't kill him. You just hit him in the body or the tail, it doesn't seem to bother him much. I hit him in the body, and but finally I think I finally hit him in the head, but he crawled up in the weeds and we never found him again, so I guess I got it. Do you like that stories? Hawks are really good. You know, those big birds fly around up way up high. Really, most of the time they're good. They only ate little baby chicks when the little baby chicks got out where they shouldn't be. It's like you're a little boy and you shouldn't go out where you shouldn't be. Some bad wolf or bad hawk could maybe get you.
Trying to get the baby, and the mother hawk, she was the daddy of the baby, and the mother hawk went whack.
Wow. Well, most of the time, the hawks are good. And they don't eat little baby chicks only when they run off from their mothers. Most of the time, the hawks are very good, because you know what they catch most of the time? They catch bad rats and bad mice that eat the grain and the cheese and things like that. And they catch, they're all robbers. Mice are robbers. They steal in the barn and they come and bore a hole in the sack and eat the grain and get into the cheese and the food and everything. Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. And the snakes, you know, they would come in the chicken house. You know what they would do? They would bore a hole underneath the wall of the chicken house, right down in the ground and come up through the Look at that. And they would swallow whole eggs. They like eggs. They didn't bother chicken. Because the chickens would peck them. And you know what? Uncle Aaron came in the chicken house one day and he found a long, big black snake, this long. He had 1, 2, 3 big lumps in him. You know what they were? Eggs. He swallowed 1, 2, 3 eggs. How about that? Swallow them whole, shut them off. How about that? Oh, he was so mad. Oh, what do you think he did? He got a big stick and he bopped the snake over the beam and bopped him real hard and smashed his head because he was eating Uncle Aaron's eggs, and Uncle Aaron sold his eggs to the neighbors. And when that snake ate his eggs, he didn't get any money. We ate the eggs, and then what we had left over, we sold to the neighbors and to their little grocery store down the highway. But when the snakes ate the eggs, they were eating Uncle Aaron's money. So when he came in and found those 3 big lumps of the snake, he knew he could eat these eggs. We found a big stick and bombed him on the bean. He really bopped him. He really clobbered him. That's my egg story. Oh, honey, if I want a bad enough, I would let him get it for me. Thank you, sweetheart. Mama, sweet to daddy. Yeah, we had a lot of interesting experiences on the farm. Did you like that story? See, foxes and snakes and mice and rats are all robbers. They steal. And most of the time, the snakes and the hawks were good, and they ate the robbers and ate the mice. The only thing is, we didn't have anything to catch the fox. We didn't have anything out there that chased foxes and caught foxes. So, Uncle Aaron got his rifle. We had 2 dogs, and when he would hear the dog barking, he'd run out with his rifle and try to shoot the fox. But I don't think he ever got a fox. The foxes are too smart. They're very foxy. You know foxes were foxy? Huh? Very foxy. Fox was so fast and so smart. He'd get away every time. By the time the dog found out he was learning to bark, he already had his chicken and was off in the woods. We didn't have a good hound dog that could chase foxes. You have to have a special kind of dog to chase foxes. You know, like the 101 Dalmatians? Remember that? Well, it's a big dog like that chases foxes. A big special hound dog. And they can run in the pack, whole pack of dogs. Just one dog can catch a fox. Because the fox is so fast, he can hide and he whirls around, he goes this way, he goes that way, and he pushes. I mean, the dog just runs the dog crazy. But if you get a bunch of dogs, and they come this way, and this way, they come this way, and this way, and they surround the fox all the way around like that. And then the fox tries to get up and can't get it out, and the dogs got it. They got him. And don't steal no more chicken. They're very foxy. You gotta have about 10 dogs to catch a fox. Did you ever see a fox hunt? Did you ever see one in the movies? Or did you read one in the book? That's what they do. They get a whole bunch of people. When the foxes start stealing chickens and stuff, and the farmers all get together, and they all get on their horses with their guns, and then they get their dogs, and they get ready to go out into the woods on a fox hunt. Pretty soon the dogs start, whoo, 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 whoo. It means they smell a fox. And you know there's one out there somewhere. So all the dogs are going, like this. They're telling the hunters that they found the fox. And they chase them in the woods. And the hunters, they come all around the dogs in case the fox slips through the dogs so fast sometimes. He's so fast and so smart he can just run right under a dog sometimes like that. It's true. Just run right under it before you can catch him. So the hunters will all be around on their horses with their guns, and if the fox gets away, they've got it. Because you can't have the foxes stealing your chickens. Because then you won't have any more eggs for breakfast and chicken for supper.
get my horse, and I'll go on it, and I'll kill a fox. I can all the foxes.
Someday maybe you'll live on a ranch where you can ride a horse and shoot a gun and shoot snakes and shoot foxes. It's pretty hard to live on a ranch, though. There's a lot of hard work to do. Really hard. Your Uncle Aaron and your Uncle O, they like it very much. And your Aunt Faith too. And your Aunt Deborah. They all like the ranch very much. They like to ride horses. We had some little ponies. Shetland ponies, only about that high, you know. Real pretty, real gold colored ponies. We had about half a dozen. We had a mother and sort of a father. It was her son, but she married him, and they had little baby ponies. When they came there was only 2 ponies. It was a mama and her son. And pretty soon when her son got big enough to fuck her real good, then he fucked her and had little babies. They had little ponies. And pretty soon we had a whole half a dozen ponies. Some of the ponies were not very nice, though. They were pretty mean. They didn't like to be ridden. They liked to just run free, and they didn't like somebody riding on their back. So, they were pretty mean. But Aaron was the best one, because he was the biggest, strongest boy, and he was the fastest. Your Uncle Aaron, the one that fell off the mountain, he was big and strong and fast, and he would run so fast, he would run, chase after the pony, and jump on it. And then he'd wrap his arms and legs around real tight like that and hold on, and the pony would light off and go like a blue streak. And they would try to buck him off and try to kick him off. And then you know what the little rascal would do? The pony, when you couldn't shake him off, he'd run under the branch of a tree like this and try to scrape him off. Just like that. Try to scrape him off right under the branch of a tree. That's how smart the ponies were. Oh, they were really mean. They were really mean. So one day, the pony was out in the barnyard. We found grain, you know, like oatmeal. Like this oatmeal here, they like that very much. That's the only way they usually get to ride them. They get hold a handful of grain and get them to come up and eat the grain and jump on it really quick. And one day, this pony was out in the barnyard, eating the grain out of his dish like this. He was busy eating the grain. Pretty soon up came a goat and grabbed some of his grain. And he was so mad, first he kicked with one foot at it. The goat would slide on this side, grab some grain. He'd kick with this foot at it. Next time, the goat came in and grabbed some grain and then dashed this way. Was going to come around the pony in the back and come back on this side to grab some grain. When the goat got right behind the pony, what do you think the pony did? He kicked him with his 2 feet like that, real hard. He kicked him so hard that it lifted the goat way off the ground, way up in the air like that. And when the goat, it's like the pony was eating right there. It's like the goat was kicked over and landed here as far away as the toilet. Dead. Plumb dead. Because it was stealing the horse's seat. That's what he got for stealing, huh? See? It's not good to steal. So, Eddie was out one day, and she was trying to steal a ride. A free ride on the pony. Now this one special mean one, he was big. Your Aunt Faith, when she was a little girl. And she jumped on him and he ran real fast, and she wouldn't let go. She was hanging on tight. So he tried a new trick. You know what he did? He ran real fast and then he just stopped real quick like that. And Stacy kept on going. And landed on her head. And hit her head real hard, and she was sick in bed for a couple of days. So she was stealing 3 lives. Doesn't pay to steal. Anyhow, the mama, Pony, and her son had 4 babies when I was there in the ranch. 4 little ponies. And they were so cute. They didn't look like they were much bigger than a dog. Ponies? Ponies. Let's see if I've got any more stories about ponies. I think that's all the stories I got about ponies. We had a big horse that Daddy always rode. And Daddy always wore a big, thick leather jacket. Like a cowboy's wear, you know? Big, heavy jacket. Because this horse, he liked to be free and just run around out on the ranch all by himself, not have to carry anybody. So when you roped him, we'd take a rope like this up there. They'd hold out some grain for the horse, you know, try to get the horse to come to eat the grain. And then when the horse came, he'd throw the rope around his head. Like that. And then he couldn't get away. Because we wanted to put a saddle on him and ride him. So then, Daddy would bring the heavy saddle and roll it up on the horse like that. And then it had a belt on the bottom. You had to put in the buckle like Daddy's belt, you know. And you had to stoop down under the horse like this to get a hold of that belt, and it's called a cinch. And put it through the rings and pull it tight. And every time I'd pull it tight, you had to pull it real tight, because if you didn't, the saddle would slip and go around, and pretty soon you'd be hanging underneath the horse's stomach instead of riding on top of his back. So you had to pull the saddle on real tight. And when I pull the cinch real tight like that, the horse, she didn't like it. She'd reach around and bite me on the shoulder like that. But I had a stick jacket, so it didn't hurt much. And that was naughty of her to do that. So I'd slap her. Well, she's getting kind of old. She's getting a little mean. Sometimes people get sort of mean when they get old because they're tired and sick, and they don't want to have to work hard. So by and by, she got so old and so mean and didn't like to carry people anymore, that we just turned her loose and let her run all over the ranch, and she just ran all over like she was wild by herself. And by she died. And they found her out there in the woods one day. She got very old and died. About 15 years old. Horses only live about 15 years, usually, horses in town. People live about 70 years. You like those stories?
You know what a saddle is for, David?
Do you know what a saddle is?
Yes.
That thing that you put on the back of a horse that you sit on, it's a seat. It's a leather seat. I'm on a lot of rattlesnake stories.
Someone learned about a horse.
About a horse. Oh, let me see. I can tell you a story. The goats. It was Uncle Ho's goats. You probably don't remember Uncle Ho, but do you remember Uncle Ho when he visited us in Tenerife? And he showed the movies? Well, that was Uncle Ho. With a little beard, and he's bald-headed on top, no hair up here, and beard here. He's always smiling. And Uncle Ho, he was the goat keeper on the ranch. He took care of the goats. Uncle Aaron took care of the cows and the sheep and the pigs, because he was the biggest. He could take care of a lot of things. And so Uncle Ho had 300 goats. Think of that. 300 goats. You know how many that is? Oh, that's almost as many goats as there are those flowers on the wall. That's a lot of goats, huh? More than that. More than all the flowers on this wall and all the flowers on the ceiling. A lot of goats, huh? And he loved Uncle Ho. He was little, you know, like then. You've seen goats, you know, they're about so high. And about as big as a big dog, you know. These goats had nice fur. Real long fur, like this. Long hair, soft and nice. Like this here, only even longer. Wool fur. It's called Angora hair goats. We raised them for the hair, because the hair makes beautiful sweaters, nice soft jackets and things like that. And you didn't have to kill the goats. All you had to do was cut off the hair. See? You didn't have to skin them or anything. Get a fur coat. You just cut off the hair, and then you made thread, and you made cloth, and you made a nice, beautiful, soft sweater.